Hey, Mzansi, let's talk about these bloody whites that are doing so well for themselves with their low unemployment numbers. So in South Africa at the moment, there is, 143 race laws. You've got BEE, you've got affirmative action, all those things. I mean, everything is against the white people making a success in South Africa. However, why is it that the majority of South Africa still thinks that white people or Afrikaners they've got all the wealth, they've got all the land? Why is that? Now, just remember, this is my perspective. If you've got a different perspective, please jump in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. I would really love to hear what your thoughts are. But for this video, my video, just hear me out. So the way I see it is that despite all of those laws, all those factors that we've got against us, we still make it work. Okay? If we can't get a job anywhere, we start making koeksisters or start a business to try and make money. We find a way to uplift ourselves economically. Okay? That's the way I see it. Take me, for example. I couldn't get a decent job in South Africa. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to university. I couldn't uplift myself in South Africa. Everything was against me in South Africa. What did I do? I jumped on a plane, came to America. I am currently in America, working on a farm for 10 months out of the year. In the past 5 years, I've seen my kids 6 months in total. Okay? But I refuse to just lay down and live in poverty. So that is what I did. Then there's other people that start businesses. Like I said, they start making vetkoeken, they start businesses, they start doing whatever they can to uplift themselves. There's a growing trend now in South Africa where people start working remotely. So they work from their kitchen or from their lounge or from their office space on a computer for a company that's based in the UK or in Dubai or in America. They start doing remote work and they get paid in dollars, pounds, yen, whatever currency you want to name. So there's always a way that you can dig yourself out of a mess. Now, fair enough, not everybody can dig themselves out of a mess. Okay? But the way I see it is that's what the white people, that's what the Afrikaner people do. They just find a way. You know, if we've got everything against us in South Africa, we'll do it ourselves. If the government won't help us, we'll do it ourselves. Okay, and that's kind of the slogan of Orania and those places, you know. They did everything themselves. They took a piece of land, private property, and started building stuff and do it themselves. Okay, and they are thriving. And now fucking South Africa's like gung-ho mad because they're, you know, building a thriving society there. Anyway, that's off the topic. But that's how I see it. I'm not saying that every black person or Indian person or colored person are lazy and they don't want to uplift themselves. Of course, I'm not saying that. But, you know, with all the theft, the break-ins, I mean, my fiance got broken into less than a week ago, you know, by somebody who couldn't help themselves out of poverty. They thought they took the easy way and just started stealing. Okay? Now, isn't the whole point of all that race laws in South Africa that is making it difficult for the white minority to get jobs supposed to uplift that guy to get a job? Or is it just easier to steal something, sell it, and then make a couple of bucks? So instead of taking the easy road and just committing crime, stealing stuff to make some money, or just relying on the government to give me money through SASSA cards and all of that, the majority of white South Africans or Afrikaners, they find a way to uplift themselves financially, and that is why the unemployment rate is so low. When it comes to private property, as far as I know, the white South Africans or the Afrikaners, we see it as a priority to have a nice house. So if I'm earning 20,000 a month, I would spend 10,000 of that just to get myself a good property. Okay, because I want my family to be safe and secure. And I want to give them a decent house to live in, not live in a shack. Now, I understand there is people that are living in shacks because they have to be living in shacks. But as I've seen lots of times, if you are living in an informal settlement in a shack and you've got a Golf 6 in the driveway, then obviously you do not need to be in the shack. But I've seen that countless times, many times over and over. Because why would I if I was a black person, and there is an informal settlement full of black people, why would I want to go spend 10,000 on a house where I could very comfortably just live in this little shack, but now I can afford to buy myself fancy jeans. I can buy fancy shoes. I can buy a Golf 6. You know, I'm quite okay with living in an informal settlement. It's not ideal, but you know what? I don't mind. But I want to have nice things. I've seen that many times, and I'm not saying that is it for everybody. Every black person in South Africa is like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I see that a lot. But that is why we own so much property, is because we actually make it a priority to buy property for safety, security, and for our families. So that is how I see it. If you've got any different opinions, please let me know in the comments below. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. This is just my perspective. Until next time, see you guys. Ciao.